Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMTRADERS channel. So we're looking at a full market analysis, volume 64 here. We're going to be taking a look into the up and coming week and review our analysis from last week. So actually just had an error with our recording. So we got all the way up to EURJPY and then something with my computer crashed. So we are going to have some analysis already done for us. So this shouldn't be too long of an episode. So bear with me for now. So AUDUSD. We are looking at gold, euro USD and NZD for tomorrow, so watch out for those separate videos. So AUD USD, we are looking for a turnaround in the market. We can see price action pushing up quite nicely with the NFP as we had on the Friday. So at the end of the week we start to see price action push up, so I'm quite keen to see this potentially turn over into the market. And I'm just potentially just waiting for price to, pretty much do its thing here. So just waiting for, price action to come within this range and then potentially turn over towards the downside. And again, we are looking for price to come into this range, so roughly at 75 flat. The other option is that we get price to push up higher. Now this one, if we do get to see price push higher than 79, we have to be careful and mindful that if we are going to see continuation, we should be able to see a lot of strength towards the upside. But if we start to see some rejection candles, we could potentially see that sell-off opportunity once more. So that's why I want to be mindful of that sell-off opportunity if we do push higher. But again, price action should be pretty obvious with that. So don't worry, by then we should have an update video ready for you guys. So moving on to UJ. So what we were looking at from last week is we had the anticipation for price to break this break up once more, so push once more higher, and then have price action push lower. So now that we have found that, we start to see price really strengthening towards the downside here. So all we have to do now is just simply wait for either some sort of retest on a lower time frame or a higher time frame. Or we could be looking at this downtrend here, this uptrend, and wait for price action to break it and retest it, and that could be your trade to enter. And simply we're just waiting for price to get into around 107. So I'm looking to take out this low here and potentially run further into 107. So that's a key level that I'm personally anticipating. Moving on to CADJPY. So what we were looking at from last week was a potential move towards the downside. Now, as we can see here, we've got that breaker structure. We can see price break lower. We can see there's this low being created that's broken, and we've got this uptrend here as well. So we can see price breaking this uptrend. So there is a potential warning that we could be breaking lower. The other option that I've got drawn out here is that we get a false breakout. So this would be a false identity to the downside, and we could potentially see price flip and fling towards the upside and then have that sell-off. And that's where we potentially stand with CADJPY. And we could be looking for price to come into around the 85 to 85.5 area, so a long way down. But again, this one should be an anticipated sell-off opportunity, so there could be multiple opportunities along the way. So yeah, we got up to EURJPY before the video crashed, so we can now take it just a little bit slower. So what we are seeing here is essentially price action to break towards the downside. But I have two options here with this one, and that is for price to break towards the upside and potentially make that reversal. And again, I'm saying that this could be a potential fake out. So we could see price once more push up higher, and then we need to wait for some sort of signs where price is dropping lower, and then we can get in on the market. And then we're going to be looking for price to get in around the 128 level. So this is all the way down here. Again, I know that it's a very far away, long way down, and this is just a long-term vision. And like I said, there's always multiple areas that you can get in along the way, so don't worry if you do miss out. We will give you some sort of idea of how to get in along the way. So looking at NZDJPY, I am quite keen to see how strong this move towards the downside is. we can see price action pushing lower and lower. We are getting closer towards our uptrend here, so be curious to see if we can break this low here. This higher low. If we can break this, we should be able to see some sort of continuation lower. So that's the thought processes here. So this was the last week's analysis. So if we just simply look for something like this, we could be anticipating something like that. The other side, the other flip side is that we have one more continuation push higher, and then we have that reversal. So that's something that I'm personally being mindful of, and I just want to see if price is able to do one of the two really, and not really having any definite plan or definite idea of where price is likely to go, but just one of these two scenarios that is a potential idea that could happen. So just need to wait out and see what happens really with this one over some time. I'm looking at AUDJPY, so similar story here. I am looking for that continuation play lower. This one has been a quite tricky one as well over the last few days. Just to kind of gain some clarity around this, we will either have a sell-off come into within this range, or we'll get price to push up higher and then have that sell-off. So again, we're looking for price to reach 82, something that we can look to anticipate. But again, like I said, if price does come above the 86 point, we have to again just be careful if we start to see any rejections, because if we do, then we could be looking at the downside. But if we have any strength towards the upside and we start to see more continuation moves, then it will be pretty obvious not to get involved with the market. So again, by the time that price does break towards the upside, we will have obviously giving you some sort of insight of our video, so don't worry if that has happened. Finally, looking at the last two pairs, so USDCHF. So what we are looking at for this one is again that continuation up higher, or we'll get one more break towards the downside. So I'm not really too sure exactly what's happening so far. So I know that one of the two things will happen. I'm just very mindful of this strength towards the downside, with that NFP ending the week towards the downside, so a very strong candle towards the downside here. So we're just gonna have to be careful with this for any buying entries, but we're still looking for those buy entries towards the upside. So let's see exactly what happens there, but we're still waiting and still anticipating those potential moves towards the upside. So definitely keeping an eye out for this trade and opportunity. And finally for this week is USDCAD. So we're in this range bound market here. So if I just draw out this level here, we can see one or two things will happen. We'll either get a break towards the downside and then a reversal, or we'll get that continuation push higher. So pretty much that's where we stand here with this USDCAD. I don't really know exactly what will happen, but if I was to say, I am looking for price to push lower and then to push higher, and that's where we could be looking out for some good buying opportunities there personally. But ultimately that's all I have for this week. Again, tried to keep it quite short. Apologies for going quite fast. At the start, it was because we pretty much had some errors with our videos, but that's not a problem for you guys because you can see the end product. But yeah, hopefully the analysis was okay for you to understand and not too quick. But yeah, that'll be all from us. Again, if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. We do have a trading group that you can join. That link is in the description. And of course, I do appreciate your time for watching if you made it all the way to the end of this video. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and we'll see you all in our next video.